Comrades, welcome to episode 31 of the Quamfy Show. We had some news yesterday, and that is about Sibos 2022, and it is taking place in Amsterdam, and Quant will be there. You can even make appointments with Gilbert. We're going to have a look at the tweet, and then we're going to dive into Sibos, into what it is, who's going to be there, what it actually means. We're going to have a look at the last Sibos, and that was a pre-COVID edition, because COVID in between, as you guys are very much aware of. Nothing has happened for the last, almost 3 years by now. So we're going to have a blast from the past with an even younger looking Gilbert and the information he revealed back then. And we can actually see what has come to fruition since then, which is really interesting. Greg made a thread about this on Twitter to dive in even deeper. We're going to feature that as well. And the European Commission has shared a document. It got shared in the Council of Quamf by Ultra Quamfy. And we thought to dive in. It is about the digital identity for all Europeans. And the highlight that Ultra Quamfy had was that over 65% of European population were positive for an EID to be implemented. And like I said, we're going to dive in, see what the ups and the downs are, and how the crypto perception of EID kind of collides with what they're actually intending to do. So it's going to be a pretty interesting episode. And obviously, after our introductions, we're going to have a look at the quant price. Tim, how's life?
Well, I'm back. I can finally speak again. Last week I was dying. I was coughing my lungs out. I've slowly but gradually recovered the past 7 days, just like the price of QNT went back up. So you will hear some, some cheeky coughs all over the episode, but it's getting better and better. And I'm just looking back at an amazing episode with Hungarian Horntail. I think we really performed once again, and I was glad actually that I felt so ill during that particular episode, because I couldn't interrupt Horntail. I just let the man talk.
Yeah.
And it was just a very, very enjoyable listen. I listened everything back. I really enjoyed it. I just didn't have the time to shill it on social media. I was too busy last week. It was chaos, so you didn't really see me on the Quamfy Show on Twitter, and neither on Instagram. So yeah, that's in summary how my past 7 days have been. How are you? How's life?
Yeah, life's good, man. Pretty busy. As most of you will know, I've been upgraded from an advisor at Galileo Protocol to a COO. So I am now the Chief Operational Officer, which is quite the title, quite the honor. Really proud of that, having a lot of fun. Retirement is officially done. Just this week alone, I've been almost 50 hours already, and that's excluded the Quamfy Show and family life. But I'm feeling so energetic, having a lot of fun, and everything takes time. But it's completing a lot of tasks, gives a lot of energy. Got a special group for things that we have done, and that group is fucking just accumulating messages. So that's really cool. And yeah, as for the Quamfy Show and Quant, interesting times definitely coming up with the Sibos. Make me excited. Quant Pump today, we're almost at 100, but it's also lifts spirits, so to speak. Curious to see how this month will go. I think expectations are pretty high based on last year. Mine were high too, and then I had the realization that there is a pretty decent chance, and that's based on a message that some tracker noticed that every 30.x seconds.
Shall we look at it real quick?
Yeah, can you pull it up? I don't know where it is right now.
Keep talking, I'll find it.
All right. Yeah, so there's this bot, And he's looking for patterns all the time on chain and tries to figure out if interesting things are happening. And what he found was like every 30.4 seconds, 2.7 QNT got bought like clockwork. So that's not human. A human is not able to do that with that degree of precision. So there is accumulation going on, be it very slowly. I think if you add it all up, it's about 30,000 euros an hour at prices yesterday. So that's pretty interesting. And I was thinking that if an algorithm like that would be at work, just simply grazing, like a cow, just nibbling little wee bits of quant to fill licensing and just build up a buffer, if you will, we would not probably see price action that we've seen last year. And TWAP, Coinbase TWAP detector. I tweet when I detected TWAP activity on Coinbase. I don't know what a TWAP is or a TWAP. Is it a TWAP or is it? Sounds like I have speaking deficiency. It's a TWAP. Get out. It's a TWAP. I'm sorry.
TWAP. It's a TWAP. It's from Star Wars.
Oh, really? Time-weighted average price. So, yeah. Oh, or the worst American president. I read here on acronyms. Anyway. So they had a notification. Can you scroll down a bit? Maybe we can find the QNT thing.
Yeah, well, it says it's tweeting about abnormal buys on Coinbase, and well, that's cool. It's run by a 0x technician. I develop BioReads. I develop bots and automated trading strategies. It's pretty cool. Yeah, there was this specific tweet on Quant some days ago. I think if I just go back, yeah, here.
So this is activation spotted in the last hour on QNT spot market. Someone is buying 2.7 units every 31.6 seconds. That's $29,229 and 0.43 cents per hour. Did I say that correct? That number? I always get confused by the comma usage. In the Netherlands, we do it opposite. So we have the dot between the thousands and the decimals is a comma.
I first thought he bought for at least a bought for $29 million.
I had the same thing. I read this to the audience like, my God, somebody's buying 29 million in QNT.
But that's not the case, sadly. But still. And there are some more tweets. I've never heard about this bot, but then you know how it goes with the QNT community, and somehow we spot something. Apparently, this happens more. So when we go through the timeline,
Control F maybe, and then QNT.
Yeah, I think you can also search search this page.
Well, what Tim is scrolling there. I'll refresh CoinGecko once again. 99.55 euros. So that is not 100, and I hoped we would be 100 by the start of this show. The volume today is 33 million, so that picked up pretty decently. Looking over the last 7 days, we had a spike on September 3rd, then we maxed out at 34 million.
Share a screen.
Then we on my way. Then the volume dumped again, if you can call it dumped, to 11 million. Yeah, that's a third. That's 33% down. And then it picked up again a bit, went to 28 million, and that's kind of the average for the last 2-3 days. As you can see, we have a nice recovery. Looking on the 24 hours, seems like we had a wee little jump on around 3 o'clock-ish, and now we are slowly dying again. So we're getting back to 12, wasn't it, Tim? 12 euros. And then range at 12 euros until September.
12 euro?
No bells ringing. Okay.
What?
You actually corrected me today in the Quamfy lounge. There was a guy, and he was talking about 40, and I was like, yeah, no, there was this dude, and he said we were going to 12.
No, it was $15 on the 1st
I
of August.
I said it
next
wrong
year.
again. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the 1st of August next year. Yeah.
That's his bet. And he was pretty convinced.
Mm.
He is convinced we are moving towards €15.
Yeah.
So it's
On
going to
the
be an
1st of
interesting bet. We'll see how that plays out. So far, he's not on the right track, but he could still very well be. I mean, he's betting against the Quamfy show, so you're probably right if you bet against us.
For now, he's just a dash off. Anyway, what do we have here, ladies and gentlemen? It reads Gilbert Verdion, Gilbert. The Quant Network team are heading to Sibos. We can help you organize with hashtag blockchain, interoperability, digital assets, payments, commercial stablecoins, and BBDCs. Should we get a meeting in the diary? And then the image reads, ready for digital assets? Let's meet at Sibos, Amsterdam, 12th to 13th October 2022. So that's a home turf match for Tim and myself. And
It is.
We
I think it's in the Rij in Amsterdam.
It is in the Rij. And Galileo Protocol asked, do you think the Galileo team should participate? They responded to the tweet by Gilbert. And I responded a little bit, oof, that would be a nice Quant Leox opportunity. Maybe the Quamfy show can record. There are so many shared interests between our communities. Like, the links to this are in the description. Have a look.
Ooh, sounds interesting.
And then sounds interesting. Let's discuss. Yeah. And then I got called out for being a schizo. Talking to myself.
Yeah, that was totally me, guys, tweeting back. That was totally me. That was me.
Tim is managing the Quamfy show account, and Tim cannot be reached during the day unless I sent him a tweet. Try it out tomorrow. You'll see.
Yeah, I did see it actually. I mean, if you tag me directly on Telegram, I will see it. Or when my phone pops up with Twitter notifications, I will actually get a message. The rest of the day, well, I'm invisible on Telegram. Sorry for that.
Exactly. So so this is interesting. And the Galileo team, do they want to participate? Maybe we're looking to see if it's how beneficial it will be. And the parallels between the Quant and the Galileo community. I want to talk about that for a bit. Because yesterday I went to bed and my head was racing and I couldn't sleep. And I was like, oh, fuck. Maybe we can go and meet Gilbert, because you can actually, I'll show that as well. You can actually plan in the agenda of good old Gilbert, if there's any spots. And you can actually choose a day, choose a time, and have a chat for 30 minutes, which is really cool. And I was thinking, oh man, what questions could we ask? And we were thinking about, okay, how's everything with the QRC 20, QRC 720? How will that evolve? How is regulation going to adapt to everything getting tokenized? Securities laws are still pretty unclear. And these are all quant things, which are also Galileo things. So everything is intertwined, which makes it
there is so much overlap.
Yeah, which makes it really interesting. And yeah, so we're also curious to think, would you guys like to see a Quamfy Galileo episode-ish, maybe
around that time?
Around the time, because we are actually thinking ourselves, so Private Jarno, Private Tim, aka Quamfy Show, to go to Sibos. only tickets cost for one day 1,500 euros each. And the
Ah.
benefit for, yeah, the benefit for us is we do not have to travel, really. We can just grab a car and drive there, and then you'll just pay
I'll just grab a
150
bus.
euros for parking. Oh yeah, you can grab the bus. Yeah, I need to go from Rotterdam, and I hate public transportation, so I'm a little bit of a spoiled bitch. But
I mean,
yeah,
I
man.
could also take my car, but going to Amsterdam by car is an absolute nightmare. So
yeah, Amsterdam is a disaster zone. So we're actually considering this and talking about this, thinking about this. We are also thinking that if we want to go, maybe we can make this a community thing, because yeah, it's going to be 3K on the Quamfy Show tab, and that's that's not really available quite yet. We should actually get a nice little cash book thing for the Quamfy Show, so we can do these types of trips. Might be a good idea, Tim. But so we're contemplating, we are thinking about this, but we are also we need some more information. We're not sure if we can record video there. Do we need a press pass? We only got to talking about this actually like 20-30 minutes for the show, so I'm actually brainstorming live right now while we're recording. So there's a lot of question marks. I mean, wouldn't be a good idea to do a fundraising maybe if we cannot record. I don't know. Like I said, a lot of questions. We are interested. It is literally only an hour's drive for us from here.
Yep.
So let us know in the comments. Hit us up on Telegram or on Twitter if you have any ideas for maybe a way to get us funded, or if you have any information how it goes with recording stuff there. Maybe you guys are okay that we just go there, make notes, and then just produce content from what we heard, from to whom we spoke. Those type of things, that's also a possibility. We need some input. We need some feedback. We want to know what you guys think. We are serious about this, and obviously we are prepared to pay a bit ourselves, but it would be very cool if the quant community and maybe even the Galileans, so the Quamrats and the Galileans, come together and get this sorted for us and help us get there.
yeah.
So Sibos, what is Sibos? Because you guys have no bloody clue. I prepared a clip. It's a pretty well-known one. I'm going to play it in its entirety. So if you are aware of the FinExtra TV and Quant, the re-architecturing of the financial system video, and you're on podcast, you can forward 3 minutes and 41 seconds from now.
Hello, I'm Debbie Bell-Hosking at Sibos in London for FinExtra TV, and I'm speaking to Gilbert Verdian of Quant Network. Hello, Gilbert.
Hi, Debbie.
We were chatting a little earlier, and you spoke about re-architecting the financial system. What do you mean by that?
We're living in an exciting time right now. This time that we're in only happens every 30 to 40 years. The last time we moved from paper finance to electronic, and that was in the 60s and the 70s. We then went digital, but now we're in a state where we're actually able to go decentralized, which means we're able to disintermediate how we run the financial system and give people access to technology and the whole system in a new way. So we're doing things which were never done before.
And it's Sibos, and you've had a launch, you've been involved in a launch. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Yes, so we're quite excited. One of the biggest problems that we've solved with our technology is the ability to interconnect. And the technology we've solved is blockchain. Everyone is loving that technology. It's being widely implemented and adopted, but the barrier is removing the ability to trust and interoperate and have flexibility. So we've taken those barriers away, and we've allowed financial institutions, central banks, FMIs to be able to use any blockchain at scale. And we've implemented this technology within payment infrastructure, within capital markets, and in central banks. And what we've done is we've created a network of networks that's fit for a hyper-connected world. And that's quite exciting, because if you look at how we're doing the system and innovation, we're operating in silos. And what we've done is we've allowed everyone to innovate and build, but we've interconnected everyone. We're allowing people to have access to new markets, new technologies, new customers, and keep what they've already got, but making it compatible and interoperable.
And of course, the theme of this year's Sibos is thriving in a hyper-connected world.
Yes.
Where do you see this going, years from now? Where, you've done your launch today at Sibos. What does the future hold?
I think we're seeing a structural change in the architecture of the system. There's a lot more market demands. There's new barriers that have been removed. Regulation has caught up, which is really exciting. I come from the Bank of England, the Treasury. My background is in cybersecurity, so heavily regulated environments. Regulation has caught up with technology today, and what we're seeing is the ability to do things which were just not possible. And the market is demanding it. And if the financial system doesn't change, you've got a threat of new market entrants, the technology companies of the world. They're able to do a lot more and they're bigger and they're able to move fast. And so where we're seeing financial services go is really an evolution, but a rapid evolution into a new world with a lot of uncertainty but a lot of potential. And what we like to do is bring trust to that uncertainty. We'd like to allow innovation to foster in a nice, controlled, safe way, so they can create products and deliver new services to their customers, whilst maintaining all the compliance they have to.
Gilbert, thank you so much for sharing your news with us, and have a good rest of the conference.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Unmute my mic. Okay. So this was an interview with Sibos, FinExtra TV. A lot of big names here. So what you hear Gilbert actually say, this was 2019, mind you. They were there together with Oracle for startups back then. They could tag along. And if you're a big bank, a big financial institution, if you mean something in the world in that domain, you're invited, or you'll buy a stand at Sibos. I'm not sure how that goes, but there will be a filtering system. I am not aware of any crypto companies. We'll go to the exhibitors in a bit. But what you hear Gilbert say and explain is actually the narrative that he always had about the regulations, about big tech actually consuming the world, and that we need to be careful that they do not overrun the current monetary system, and that the regulations are needed and the standards, etc. Well, he has been creating all those things. He has been rubbing elbows with all the people that he actually says that need to adapt, so that they need to optimize their technology, because otherwise they're going to get run over. And what is really cool to see is that he is now, with his Overledger product, actually implementing the Latin American dollar in 2023. So what he warned for here is actually happening now, because Quant is one of those fintechs, together with the Oracles and other big companies like that, that are actually getting themselves into government, and well, not necessarily taking over, but let's say hold their hand in innovating, in growing. And there are so many gems. My brain is actually just crashing right now from what he has said in here. Look at the video in the description once again, and then you can see how much I'm looking forward to being there and talk to the man himself, maybe. Jeez.
Yeah, what I find quite interesting is that this fragment is from 2019. So we've had quite some progress since then. And to add to that, I think one of the most interesting parts here is what he says, that basically a transition like this only occurs in a generation, or in this case, even 30 to 40 years. Yeah. So we are, well, at the early stages of a new generation of technology and a fundamental shift in the way we approach payments in this case and the banking system. So
Yeah, and that's what
that
we
is
should
exciting.
Yeah, but that's why we should be patient also. I mean, we know what this token does, we know what Quant does, and we know what solutions they provide, who they're rubbing elbows with. Yeah, in this case, the AWS's, Oracle's, IBM's, Microsoft's, Meta's of this world, let alone the big four we know from the name check things and whatnot. Token is needed everywhere. Has been confirmed as recently as 2 months ago. And if you look at the shift that is going on, it's not even an oil tanker. It's like the continents. As you know, the UK and Europe are actually moving apart from each other. Well, that's kind of the dynamics of what's going on in this world, and how long shifts take to finally be done, and it will be all at once. There's an interesting thing that just yeah, go.
Do you think? I don't think it will be all at once, right? It's a gradual transition with more and more parts starting to adapt to a new reality.
Yeah. For now, for sure. But I still thoroughly believe that for now it's going to be probably pretty quiet on many fronts, especially when we're talking about continents adopting DLT tech.
Yeah.
I still believe firmly that all eyes are on LACchain, that all eyes are on LACnet, and that they're all watching while they are building how the implementation will go in South America. And if that is a success, if that works, then within a year, I feel that everybody will just go live with what they have, and it needs to interoperate. And that's what I mean with it will be all at once.
I think you're partly right there. I mean, yes, we are now waiting, like in the. I think we've passed the stage of orientation, right? I think we are. It's pretty clear that all governments are set to implement this technology. It's just
No. We're not quite sure. We have not yet decided. We are still discussing and looking at many different opportunities and possibilities.
Sure. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Cool. Tim is choking. He just muted his mic, but he's actually dying right now. Yeah, there he goes again. Oh, in his fist. Coffee your elbow, brother. My God. Haven't you learned anything in the past 3 years? You're contaminating us all.
I think everyone at my office is going to die. No,
28 days later.
Yeah, everyone is dead. I'm sorry for this. But what I think is we've passed the point of orientation, right? So now we are, in the stage of early implementation.
Yeah, building. I think they're building. I think they know what they're going to do. I think they have decided to a degree. And I think they're getting in place whatever can be in place. And I think that they're primarily waiting for the regulatory framework and also the intercontinental, international, how do you call that?
Yeah.
Between countries, there needs to be consensus for specific things. I mean, if a certain country, their laws are behind or their policy just prohibits specific things or whatever, or there could be a plethora of other reasons. I think they need to get that shit out of the way, and I think that's why they're using the conservative language, which they do.
Yeah.
Except for go.
No, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, but I think that I agree at that particular point with the fact that the technology itself will be activated and implemented pretty much simultaneously. For the reason we've seen this in the past, right? Once a certain country adapts new technology, suddenly other countries follow. It was with the internet the case. Like Amazon started in the US, and before we knew it, we were also on that ship.
Yeah.
And I think that is what we will see here, because simultaneously we see the same kind of development, right? We see a European blockchain network, EPSI. We see it in Latin America, but we see all these continental initiatives emerging, and that's for a reason, I think. Everyone is looking at each other, and we will just see the countries which are the fastest with implementing regulation.
Yeah. And I think
at the fastest pace, but the rest will follow inevitably.
And it will all go, you just named the internet, and it will all go a lot fucking quicker than the internet, because the internet implementation actually took longer because there was no adequate infrastructure to disseminate the internet to everybody. I mean, I can remember.
There was no hardware.
I can remember back then I still smoked that I went to a tobacco shop, and there were these compact discs. It's called a CD for the people. It's like the, oh, never mind. And you can actually grab one for free, and you needed to install that on your computer. And if you had that, then you needed the modem and stuff. You could order that; it got sent to the mail. It was pretty difficult, pretty complex. But DLT right now is quote unquote just the internet. It's an additional algorithm
Application layer.
Yeah. It uses the internet itself, so it could literally be a plug and play solution for entities like, say, Quant, if they choose to be maybe a blockchain as a service provider, or just the interoperability. You could pick your own blockchains, or DLTs. I mean, there are plenty of solutions out there. So if a company wants to, especially with Overledger, they could just go, and they don't have to build entire new data centers and servers and shit. They can just hold on to their old stuff and just gradually go into their new subscription. It's like if I were to start a VPS, I could have a VPS in under 5 minutes. All I need is a payment card or PayPal or whatever, and an internet connection, and I can get that sorted right now. And with that same speed, technically, a government could do that as well. And saying that means that if internet took 5-10 years to come to full fruition, with DLT, that can go a lot freaking quicker, which is interesting. And I found this, and talking about countries, this just came in when you were watching the video. I was actually browsing on my phone because, that's what I do. Welcome to the Quamfy show. And it reads, just in, UK flag, Union Jack, right?
Yeah.
UK Economic Secretary says they want to become the country of choice for those looking to innovate and build in the hashtag crypto space. And there's an article that comes with it. And it reads, the United Kingdom wants to become the country of choice for those looking to innovate and build in the crypto space, according to the Treasury official. Economic Secretary to the Treasury, Richard Fuller, spoke at the first Westminster crypto debate on Wednesday. The UK appointed a new Prime Minister this week. Liz Truss replaced Boris Johnson as Prime Minister on Tuesday. According to Fuller, the UK is still working to catch up with the European Union in crypto regulations. The new government under Liz Truss will continue with trying to make the UK bigger in the crypto world. Quote, by making this country a hospitable place for crypto technologies, we can attract investment, generate new jobs, benefit from tax revenues, create a wave of groundbreaking new products and services, and bridge the current position of the UK financial services into a new era, end quote, Fuller said in the debate. Nice picture of the Union Jack. The UK is currently looking over a new financial services and markets bill. The new bill intends to help the regulators govern crypto used for payments like stablecoins. Fuller also brought up plans to bring forward the economic crime, transparency and enforcement bill. This bill aims to give law enforcement the necessary powers to seize and recover crypto assets in the UK. I'm sorry for stumbling while reading. I notice I'm a little bit tired. Anyway, so there's a lot going on. There's a lot of progress being made. And Greg also made a tweet on Sibos. Or do we want to go to now? Let's feature Greg first, and then we're going to have a look at the exhibitors. Okay, Tim?
Sure, but let's first about this part in the UK. So,
I mean, yeah, I went over that really quickly. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, so did someone to become a crypto hub? If I
Crypto.
understand it correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty cool. I mean,
It's-
they are
it's-
kind of
it's-
well
it's-
positioned.
Yeah, and it's not new news.
No,
This,
it's something we've been hearing for quite some time, right? They
yeah, definitely. And I think it's right now the crypto laws are shit. People paying taxes a lot. I mean, we share a group with a couple of people that like trading and stuff. It's not fun. It's not ideal. It's very heavily focused on taxable events and stuff. You need to record everything thoroughly, same as in the US actually.
But what does that have to do with like attracting blockchain developers? Well, attracting crypto companies, like trading doesn't necessarily affect that, right?
No, but if I understood this correctly, they want to get all their legislation up to date. So they were also looking to, okay, this is a transcript. There's a transcript from the Westminster thingy. It's in the description. Yeah, the financial services into a new era, new jobs. Okay, I read this also. Governed crypto used for payments like stablecoins. This would also cover trading, wouldn't it? Or are they going to generate separate legislation or laws for?
No, I think it will intertwine, indeed.
Yeah.
But it's definitely interesting, and the fact that we and the company we invest in is located at the heart of it. Makes it
London.
quite relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they will have to. Well, they have to keep innovating, especially now they've positioned themselves outside of the European market. It's going to be an interesting time. So that might incidentally push them forward on these new technologies where a much larger form of government in the form of the EU might be lacking behind, because we are working together with 27 states, whereas they can now move much quicker and more agile. So that might put them on a regulatory advantage, and we'll see. Anyway, it's something I must say. Well, the Queen has died this night, so
Yeah, I read something about it.
Something we
Queen
should.
Elizabeth II died age 96.
Yeah, who would have expected that? I didn't expect anymore. We were talking about the UK, but
you expected her to live forever.
She was she seems to be there eternally, indeed. I mean,
Yeah.
kind of,
Well, thoughts and condolences to all our British comrades, for sure.
yeah,
96, man.
that's yeah. I wonder where we will be when we are 96. Are we still recording the Quamfy show?
I doubt it. Yeah,
I doubt it too. Yeah.
I
Hyper. Yeah, we'll see. No,
we'll be the guy with the crutches and the dance floor.
Yeah. No, we just have to bring it up. We're talking about the UK, so
it's
yeah.
no. I want to say something about this, and I'm not sure if I said this before, because nothing lives forever, you know. And Quant is a very good investment right now, but there will come a point when there is no longer a purpose for the token, or for Quant Network, or for the interoperability provided. And I am personally thinking, and this is based on nothing but my gut, but when AI actually starts to do its thing, and AI becomes kind of normal, then you probably would not need interoperability anymore. So you probably would not need the Overledger anymore, and then you do not need the Quant token anymore. How long will this take? I don't know, 15 years, I hope. No one knows, but what I would, not financial advice, recommend is is think about this. Nothing lasts forever, and there are a lot of guys.
So you're
pointed out-
saying that Bitcoin, sorry, this is a whataboutism, will not last until the last Bitcoin has been mined.
Yeah, I am positive that there won't be any use for Bitcoin before the last coin has been minted, for sure. 2140, 2129 right now, if I remember correctly. Come on, people, be realistic. And the same is with Quant. So I will be gradually phasing out over the next 10, 15 years and diversifying in other assets. Since
But to
everything
be-
is going to be tokenized.
But to offer you, well,
Huh?
kind of a counter perspective on this.
Yeah,
So you are saying that the token will become like obsolete, like
yeah,
20 years time?
I
But
think so, yeah.
is that from a technical perspective or from an investment perspective?
Both.
Because I don't think if the technology just rolls, the company is established and will be, well, a publicly functioning company, which will always aim at generating profit and just distributing its services.
Mm.
The token will probably be around. It's just a matter of, is it still worth investing in?
Yeah.
As
Well,
a
it is
as a way to make a huge return. It could very well become just a quite kind of a stable way to securely store your money in a hard asset, which generates a little bit of dividend based on gateway returns.
Yeah, that's all well, and maybe you're right. And maybe the company will grow together with innovation. That is possible.
They
and
have
maybe
to.
even no, they don't. They'll try, but it depends on how everything will evolve. And obviously, they can offer AI and AI protection, and they can grow into that. But I am not so sure that the amount of interoperability that is needed now is still needed in the future. Again, I'm thinking AI. I don't know squat about AI, but I can imagine that whatever is being done by Overledger right now, that type of technology will probably no longer be needed in the future, in my opinion, if AI has become more common suit. Is that how you say that? But it is like omnipresent on the internet. Because why would an AI need an interoperability solution that is fueled by a token? And yes, you can always have the token evolve. You can upgrade it, same as you can upgrade any protocol, and then it could potentially still be of use and generate value. But if the utility falls away, or there are AI protocols that are being created, obviously, Quant and every fintech are sharks. They need to keep swimming. If they stop swimming, they'll just drown and die. But I don't know, man. I mean, 10, 15 years is a long fucking time. And if you look 10, 15 years ago, I can remember it was not very common to have a phone that has internet. Maybe 15 years. And so things go pretty quickly. And even iPhone still has only 60 hertz screens.
Yeah, even on their 14th generation.
Oh, I love all the flack they've been getting for that. Anyway, I don't know. I cannot see in the future. My perspective is nothing lives forever. Be cognizant of that and act accordingly if you feel like you have to. I mean,
well, I think things can live for quite a while. I mean, forever, not sure. Once we get hit by a meteorite, it's done. So don't look up. Sorry, that's a joke. But what I'm trying to say is that the company itself will probably remain around, stay around, right? Because they need to keep swimming, as you put it. And what I think is that this way of kind of protecting their little ecosystem that they've created through a token, which is a very secure way, might very well remain a very like valid way of going forward for them.
Maybe
Right? Overledger will
become sentient and take over the world, like
well,
Skynet.
not necessarily, but it will keep evolving. We will
Yeah.
see many versions of Overledger in the future, and all the things you mentioned will probably also be integrated into Overledger,
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
We're
Yeah, it was
just
an
watching
oversight
a
on my
very,
end, for
very,
sure.
we are
Yeah.
just watching in a very, very early instance of it. We are only in the second generation of it right now.
Oh, for sure.
And
I totally agree. Oversight
the
on
thing
my end.
is, you
Definitely.
can, and the thing is, you can kind of have all these cool protocols, and that's cool. But at the end of the day, big capitalism wins every single time, because capitalism just is very simple. Like the people with the biggest amount of money to invest usually win the race. And in fact, capitalism might even be detrimental to, is that the right word? Like to innovation.
Yeah.
Because the big players don't necessarily need innovation. They just need to keep their fair share of the
That's
market.
what you see in big pharma right now.
And that's what you see in technology too. Like Google and all those other technology giants is doing hostile takeovers on potential competitors, just taking them over, buying out their technology and implementing it on their own. So don't underestimate the first mover advantage we have. That's my contrarian view on what you just said. On the other hand, we never know. And being early into something
That's a fucking
has
blessing.
high risk, high rewards. But if you play it and you go for it, you might indeed get very successful with it. That's just my view on it. We'll see. Because the thing is, you can have all kinds of protocols in the future, but if you just buy the smartest people in the space, you have the means to do so, you will be a force to be reckoned with.
For sure. Speaking of smart people, Greg Lunt at Greg Lunt 27. Swords Fire at Quant Network has announced they'll be attending at Sibos, the world's premier financial services event. This annual conference is organized by @Swift community and brings together thousands of major business leaders and decision makers from across the financial industry. #Quant. Quoting Gilbert's tweet. Second tweet. Quant attended Sibos in 2019, launching #Overledger Network for the first time to an international corporate finance audience. The video we just showed, is also shown in Greg's thread in the description. And there he's quoting a tweet reading, "Final day at Sibos, and our @Hyperledger colleagues have been chatting with us on our launch of Overledger Net at the Oracle Startup booth. Looking forward to building a network of networks for a hyper-connected world. Overledger FinTech." It was this same event in 2019 that Quant co-marketed Overledger with Oracle as part of the Oracle Startup program. Quant Network has of course gone on to become the preferred DLT interoperability solution for Oracle blockchain and its customers. In 2020, Quant entered a video submission to Sibos' inaugural Perfect Pitch competition, where CPO Martin Hargreaves outlined Quant's expertise and value proposition to enterprises. Consequently, Sibos recognized Quant by nominating them in the leadership category. In addition to their hands-on experience at Sibos 2019 and 2020, Quant hired Andrew Carrier as their CMO this past December. Andrew previously worked at Swift for 8 years, including a role responsible for all content and communications around, you guessed it, Sibos. Highlighted here, the announcement of Andrew Carrier as the Chief Marketing Officer. Regardless of whether this year's event spawns any major announcements, the Quant team has an amazing opportunity to network with high-level executives from the exact enterprises they're built to serve. Their attendance is great news, no matter how you spin it. Stay Quamfy. Beautiful thread, Greg, once again. Nice and concise. I love it. So Sibos is pretty big. It's pretty huge, and it has the potential to actually maybe generate some nice little things. We're hoping Overledger 3.0.
Yeah, that's
Quietly.
that is the speculation,
dream.
right? Of
Yeah, the
Hungarian they dropped last week. That well, we got 2.14.
Yeah.
Another maintenance release for so we've had a month of maintenance releases. Will it lead up to something significant, especially a year after Overledger officially Overledger Network, I mean, officially launched? We'll see that on around the 16th of September.
My brain. Well, because Quant Network's birthday is also in September, isn't it?
Doubt to say that.
And Gilbert always has alluded to something like a Big Bang event to unleash his baby. So it could very well be.
28th of September is the day Quant
Yeah, 28th
Network
September, yeah.
was incorporated in 2015. So we will be going towards the 7th birthday. They grow up so fast.
Would be really cool. Would be really cool to announce the third iteration of Overledger, whilst they released the first one on Sibos as well. Quant, by the way, and this is a nice little bridge into the exhibitors. So Quant is not on this list. They're not an exhibitor. They are not a media partner. So they are going to Sibos, but I think they're tagging along with another entity. Think. I know nothing. So the exhibit is in 2022. A link is in the description. You can see a lot of names. ABN AMRO is a well-known. Accenture, Active Bank, AWS, Appian. I have no idea. Axway, Bankify, Bank of America. Don't know if you heard of those. Barclays.
BBVA is the Spanish bank.
BNP Paribas, BNY Mellon, Broadridge, BMO, Bayern LB, Banking Circle. Heard that name before as well. Capgemini, Capgemini, Citibank, CGI, Clear
That's
Bank,
too much.
Commerce Bank. No, we can drop a few more. Credit Suisse, Crowd Agent, Crypto Finance, Deutsche Bank, DTCC, Dow Jones, Euroclear,
Euronext,
the ECB, Euronext, Ernst & Young, Financial Times, FinExtra, FinTech Finance, Finality. Where did I heard that before? HSBC, HP, IBM, ING, Intellect, Icon Solutions, JP Morgan. It's also some sort of
KBC Bank voor ons uit België. Hè?
Yep, KPMG. Man.
Lloyd's
Bank.
LexisNexis.
LexisNexis, is that
MasterCard.
Insurance company? Microsoft will be there, boys.
That's Maestro, actually.
100% of our viewers know.
That's Maestro, right? Yeah.
I thought Maestro was with the blue and MasterCard is with the orange. And
either MasterCard or Maestro. I think it's Maestro. Place your bets now.
MasterCard.
Shit, it's MasterCard. Oh. Uh-oh.
But 100% of our viewers are men. Microsoft is going to be there.
McKinsey and Company.
What?
McKinsey.
Okay, never heard of it. NTT.
You don't? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
NatWest, Oracle.
Palantir. Isn't Palantir like the defense contractor? Like they do all these kind of software stuff for the US Department of Defense.
Palantir Technology is a software company that builds enterprise data platforms for use by organizations with complex, sensitive data environments. More than 2,500 Palantir employees work in offices around the globe, including blah, 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 deploying AI and ML to optimize internal processes, executing customer-centric transformations. Technology is designed to empower humans, not replace them. Yada, yada, yada. I have no clue. Pelican, Synergy, Quantexa, Rabobank, Red Hat, RBC, Raiffeisenbank International, R3, also rings a bell. 6.
Santander, 6.
Société Générale, SocGen, Standard Bank, State Street. So yeah, the banker, Global Financial Intelligence, Federal Reserve Financial Services, Clearinghouse.
Wait, is that Loft? The Luxembourg House of... Hey, I actually had a talk with them. Luxembourg House of Financial Technology. Once I had an interview with people from there. It's pretty cool.
Nice, nice. UBS, UniCredit, Visa, Volante, WhatsPay, Wells Fargo, Worldline.
Yeah, Worldline, by the way, is a partner through Nexi. And they are part of the same conglomerate. So Worldline is a Nexi partner. Visa.
Is it Nexi here?
No, it's not, I think. No,
What a
but
shit
World...
company.
Yeah. That's pretty cool that the Loft is there. I interviewed those people back in the day. And they knew Overledger. That was the coolest. They knew about Overledger. They knew.
So that's a lot of
That's an impressive list.
big kahunas, yeah. And then I'll go through the media partners while you're looking at the tip of my face. Capital Monitor, Dow Jones, Euromoney Magazine, EMEA Finance,
The
FinTech
Quamfy
Finance,
Show.
The Quamfy Show, Financial Times, FinTech Futures, FinExtra, Funds Europe, Future Banking, Global Custodian, Global Finance, Global Trade Review, IBS Intelligence, Innovate Finance, Risk and Compliance, Securities Review, Technology Report, The Asian Banker, The Banker, The FinTech Times, The Papers, Trade Finance
Yeah,
Global,
okay, we
Waters,
get it.
Digital. Why do you always do that before I'm almost done? Fuck you. Trade Finance Global, Treasury Today Group, and I missed one here, and that was Global Custodian. Yeah, I know it's a
Great
long
success.
summary.
I did it again.
I know there weren't too many, so I thought I'd just flip through this. So yeah, this is a huge deal, and it would be very interesting, very interesting to be here, especially on a Thursday. Didn't they announce Overledger on the last day of the last Sibos, or was that in the beginning? I can't remember.
No clue. I wasn't there back then,
Ah,
sadly.
final day, chatting.
I wasn't even born in 2019. So.
You were still liquid, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's yeah, interesting, man. I'd love to go there. It would be really cool.
Yep.
Oh,
It's,
sure.
We'll keep you posted.
Yeah. How long are we talking, by the way, Tim? I'm curious.
Actually, we are talking for 59 minutes and 35 seconds, roughly.
Okay. Did you guys notice, by the way, that the Quamfy show times have gotten a lot shorter? Let's say the last 5 to 10 episodes that were pretty much always under the 2-hour mark, except for when we were Hungarian on the show. but we're averaging about hour and a half.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments how you guys feel about this. I mean, average commute for a lot of people is about 30 to 45 minutes. That would mean you could actually listen to an entire show on your commute daily. Well, it's not the average commute, but for the people that have to commute, it's what everybody lives in.
Yeah, I think we kind of reached an equilibrium at around 1 hour and 30 minutes, not because we aimed for that, but simply because of the fact that we kind of run out of content after so much time. And when we don't, we continue, and we usually push towards the 2 hours. But yeah,
I don't feel that's the case.
don't
I feel that we're being more
concise.
yes, and that we're being more picky with the topics we choose. We don't try to cover everything. And I mean, in the beginning, we needed to get so much shit out of our system that we just buried you motherfuckers.
Yeah. I mean, I remember the first kind of episode. Sometimes we were talking for 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
Just because we were so excited. Like, where do we even start?
Yeah, and
now,
we're still excited. I mean, we're
Yeah.
still excited every show, but it's we're being more concise, more efficient, more effective, I think.
Yeah, we know the drill at this point. I know where I need to interrupt Jarno, and Jarno knows how to keep me interested and address me when
And
I'm
on
looking
that
at my phone.
bombshell, European digital identity. Okay, so the European Commission and digital identity for all Europeans. This is quite interesting, and why the accent, and I'm back on the screen and away from the screen share, is because this is a sensitive topic, but mostly for, in my opinion, mostly for the people that are into the crypto sphere, and I think maybe a specific generation. And I'll prove later the 65% that's in the article of people that want this. There's always a portion of the population that is scared for monitoring, scared for tracking, and with scared I mean like really truly fucking scared about being monitored and everything being used and abused and misused by the government or by whatever. And those people usually have the loudest voices. And I'm not going to start this whole rant over again because we talked about this 10,000 times.
Many times before.
Yes. But what you're seeing here in this article is that the concerns of those people are heard and that they are addressed. And what I think is really interesting, I skimmed through the article. I haven't read it thoroughly quite yet, but we're going to go through all the topics one by one, is that it actually, indeed, as Gilbert also said, wants to make everything better. And with better, I mean, and he means, and they mean, more secure, more control, safer, and easier, whilst also taking away the power from the Facebooks, the Googles, etc. of this world. Because right now, when I look at my computer, I have different Google accounts for all my topics, so to speak. So I have a Galileo Google account, I have a Quamfy show, I have another project, I have my own couple of projects, and I have Google accounts for all those. That's all data, that's all information. And I need to log in every time with different credentials, etc. And I'm just sharing all my information with them. And then I can one click and log into a website wherever I want to go. But oftentimes I just choose not to. I just choose not to use Google and just use a separate email address or use my Google email address, but then they do not have the privileges, Google, I mean, to look at all my information. I know this sounds a little bit weird, But oftentimes
should,
when you log in with Google, you give all the information where you log in to Google. And you have practically no control over this unless you actually want to invest like hours and hours into getting that done. Here they are talking about digital identities. And did you want to add something, or can I?
I wanted to say, are we tuning into the Check D checked show?
I have no fucking clue. I don't know what Check D is, and I don't care for it.
Check D is well, you know what Check D is.
I do not.
You know, because we've talked about Check D quite a couple of times. It's the
Really?
crypto that does sovereign your self-sovereign
Yes.
identity.
That I
So
do know, but
yeah. We've heard the story before. So where are we heading with this article? What does is this
Are you taking the piss? I literally
No,
have
I'm
no
not.
clue about Check D. I have no clue. I
You
know
don't?
that it exists, and I know it does SSI. But besides that, I
Yeah,
know nothing.
well, you shared
I am not. I'm not in their council. I'm not on their
no,
Twitter.
fair. Don't worry. Sorry for interrupting you. It's just a bit of me being skeptical on this our story. Is this the Council of Europe or European Commission? I think it's the European
Yes.
Commission, right?
Yeah.
No,
ec.europa.eu.
No, we've kind of covered this story together, at least in cooperation with bringing Overledger into the equation by talking about a Twitter thread of the guy with the incredibly long name, the Big Bags 30K, better known as Ultra Quamfy, Lord Chectorian Longhold or something on Twitter.
Quantonian.
Yeah, exactly. And that's about the case for this. But now it's interesting that European Commission at least is pushing for this, and apparently some kind of research is now showing that 65% of Europeans are in favor. I'm always a bit skeptical. Like not that I doubt the research methods, but you should always take into account that it's probably biased. But yeah, on the other hand, I'm not going to doubt their research methods. Probably valid. There are very valid ways to do research. But yeah, I don't know. The European Commission clearly wants this, and I think it's for a good reason. Because I hate it that I need to log in everywhere on every website. I actually forgot. Sorry that I'm taking over the narrative now. I actually forgot my PIN code, like typing that in, because I'm just my brain is getting fried with all these passwords and PIN codes and logins, and it's so annoying. I just want one method to log in. Make it happen, please.
The European digital identity will be available to EU citizens, residents, and businesses who want to identify themselves or provide confirmation of certain personal information. It can be used for both online and offline public and private services across the EU. Every EU citizen and resident in the Union will be able to use a personal digital wallet. There's a nice little quote from Ursula von der Leyen. And it reads, quote, "Every time an app or website asks us to create a new identity or to easily log on via a big platform, we have no idea what happens to our data in reality. This is why the Commission will propose a secure European e-identity, one that we trust and that any citizen can use anywhere in Europe to do anything from paying your taxes to renting a bicycle. A technology where we can control ourselves, what data is used and how." So the benefits of the European digital identity: the right for every person eligible for a national ID card to have a digital identity that is recognized anywhere in the EU. The simple and safe way to control how much information you want to share with services that requires sharing of information. Operated via digital wallets available on mobile phone apps and other devices to identify online and offline, store and exchange information provided by governments, e.g. name, surname, date of birth, nationality, store and exchange the information provided by trusted private sources, use the information as confirmation of the right to reside, to work, or to study in a certain member state. So this is really nice. And there are tons of applications for this where our life becomes more safe and why is it needed? Well, today, only about 60% of the EU population in 14 member states are able to use their national eID cross-border. Only 14% of key public service providers across all member states allow cross-border authentication with an e-identity system. For example, to prove a person's identity on the internet without the need for a password. The number of successful cross-border authentications per year is very small, though on the increase. 72% of users want to know how their data is processed when they use social media accounts. 63% of EU citizens want a secure single digital ID for all online services. That's a Eurobarometer survey.
Fair.
Key principles are available to any EU citizen, resident, or business in the EU who wants to use it. Widely usable as a way of identification or to confirm certain personal attributes for the purpose of access to public and private digital services across the EU, giving full control to users to choose which aspect of their identity, data, and certificates they share with third parties and keep track of such sharing. And then they give some examples for practical use. I think this is really interesting. So the European digital identity can be used for any number of use cases. For example, public services such as requesting birth certificates, medical certificates, reporting a change of address, opening a bank account, filing tax returns, applying for a university at home or in another member state, sorting a medical prescription that can be used anywhere in Europe, providing your age, renting a car using a digital driver's license, checking into a hotel. So what you see with this, to a degree, in the Netherlands, we already have this. With DigiD, we spoke about this in past episodes. So we can actually open a bank account, use public services, apply to a university, prove your age. We can all do that with DigiD already.
In fact, you cannot do it, you need it.
Yeah.
Without it, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, but you cannot simply travel quite yet because our IDs are still not digitized.
Which is stupid. I mean, if you lose your passport, you're screwed. I remember your Turkish hospital story. Let's not do it again, but it's annoying.
Yes. So, using the European digital identity, applying for a bank loan. This is a nice little graph. You can look at it yourself, link is in the description. But it just takes you through all the steps that you usually have to take, and now you can actually just do it, the before and after, in 3 actions. And they say this about it: by using the European digital identity, user only has to select the necessary documents that are stored locally on his digital wallet to reply. Stored locally on his digital wallet to reply to the bank request. Verifiable documents are created and sent securely to verification for verification, who then can continue with the application process. And the goal is to make everything easier. So digital signatures called e-signatures, e-timestamps, e-IDs, and these are then specified for business and citizens. You can look that up in the article. They're looking at a qualified web authentication certificate. E-seals guarantee both the origin and the integrity of a document, and electronic registered delivery services protect against the risk of loss, theft, damage, or alterations when sending documentation. There are some resources with this as well. This to me is huge, because if you think about it, everything that you do on the internet within the EU can now then accept your eID. And what they also wanted to do, and it's not in this article, but they also wanted to create a way which has some sort of form of anonymous identity, so that you do not have to expose everything, but they'll have zero knowledge proof for your age. Say you want a Steam account, or you want to buy alcohol or tobacco or whatever medication online, you need to log in with your eID, and it just scans only for your age, and obviously not for medication, whatever, but it only scans for your age, and they get a thumbs up or a thumbs down, and then you can proceed through the website. Right now, if I want to buy some vape gear or whatever, I just need to click. Are you 18? And for the people that can't read, the green button is yes, and the red button is no. So even if you can't read, you cannot misclick on this. And it's just, it doesn't work. There's no point. But if you have your payment card or your login credentials, screen that. And most people are probably like, I don't care. But I have a daughter and a son. And I would very much like that whenever they go online and they want to buy some shady what's it, that then the website says, no, you are not 18. I think that'd be perfect. And obviously there's ways around that and yada, yada, yada. But there's a lot of upsides. And especially for the anonymity part of things, I think it's a good thing. I can't wait. And especially for digitizing all my shit, because I hate bank cards and passports and driver's licenses. It's just, and it's expensive, man. How many % of your taxes that you pay go to keeping both money and identification documents and stuff safe and protected from copying and fraud and all those things? There is tons and tons and tons of money being swallowed up simply to stop criminal behavior and to.
It's such an ineffective system.
Yeah,
one of the things we need to digitize, and that will definitely be digitized in the future.
It's what Gilbert said in 2019. It's exactly that. There's a revolution going on. Everything's going to be tokenized, and it will all go a lot quicker, a lot safer, a lot more smooth, and will be a lot cheaper. Sibos, motherfucker, I want to go there, man.
Woohoo!
I really do. I really want to go.
Okay.
I have nothing anymore. We are through. I have all the topics that we wanted to covered, and I feel very much fulfilled. And
thanks once again. I didn't ask any questions. I was completely invisible on social media, so I don't really have anything to add, except for the fact that I should somehow still upload probably some shorts from the Hungarian interview. I might do that
for sure.
But I need to have time for it.
And run a poll. See if people are willing to help and get us to Sibos. And then ask the question, would you pay for us to go to Sibos? Yes, but only if you can record video, or yes, go anyway, or no, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Which
is understandable.
Like and I asked these questions to you guys as well. If you're still listening, thank you very much. Leave a comment and let us know how you feel. We are willing to maybe do a fundraiser and see what can be done. Because we definitely want to go, but we need to do it for the right reasons and with the right expectations. To me, that's important. I know for Tim as well. So let us know. Again, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like and a comment. Hit us up on our platforms. I am in every quant group, just about. I'm also in the Galileo group. You can tackle me there as well. Stay Quamfy, and we'll see you on the next one.
Stay Quamfy.